Marcus Aurelius wrote something in his private journal that would shock most people today. The most powerful man in the world, a philosopher king known for his wisdom, warned against one of the most celebrated virtues in human society, kindness. But here's what nobody tells you. He wasn't wrong. And if you've ever felt drained, used, or resentful after being kind to others, you're about to discover why. What Marcus Aurelius understood 2,000 years ago is destroying people today. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to protect yourself from this trap. But first, let me tell you about the Roman governor who learned this lesson the hard way. In 167 AD, there was a Roman governor named Quintus. History barely remembers him, but Marcus Aurelius wrote about men like him in Meditations. Quintus was known throughout his province as the kindest administrator Rome had ever seen. He reduced taxes for struggling families. He personally heard the grievances of common citizens. He gave second chances to criminals. He loaned money to friends who needed it. Everyone loved Quintus. Until they didn't. Within 3 years, his province was in chaos. The citizens he'd been kind to now mocked him openly. The criminals he'd forgiven committed worse crimes. The friends he'd helped never paid him back and avoided him in the streets. His own soldiers had lost respect for him. Marcus Aurelius had to remove him from his position. Now you might be thinking, what does this have to do with me? I'm not a Roman governor. Everything. Because you're making the same mistake Quintus made, and it's costing you respect, energy, and peace of mind. Here's what Marcus Aurelius actually wrote in Book 9 of Meditations. He observed that many people confuse kindness with weakness. They give endlessly, not from genuine virtue, but from a desperate need to be liked, to avoid conflict, or to feel morally superior. This isn't kindness. The Stoics had a different word for it: self-abandonment. Real kindness, according to Stoic philosophy, requires 3 elements that most people ignore. First, discernment. Not everyone deserves your kindness. Marcus Aurelius specifically wrote about the difference between helping someone grow versus enabling their weakness. Second, boundaries. The Stoics believed that kindness without self-respect isn't virtue, it's self-destruction. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Third, detachment from outcome. True kindness expects nothing in return, not even gratitude. If you're giving to receive validation, you're negotiating, not being kind. And this is where most people get it catastrophically wrong. Let me show you exactly how. Trap number 1. The approval addiction. You say yes when you want to say no. You help people who never help themselves. You're kind because you're terrified of being seen as selfish or mean. Marcus Aurelius saw this in the Roman Senate constantly. Politicians who gave away grain they couldn't afford just to win votes. It bankrupted cities and created entitled populations. Here's the Stoic truth bomb. If your kindness is motivated by fear of judgment, it's not kindness, it's cowardice. The test is simple. Can you be kind to someone and still tell them no? Can you help someone and still hold them accountable? If you can't, you're not being kind, you're being controlled. If this is hitting home, stay with me, because the next trap is even more dangerous. Trap number 2, the rescuer complex. This is where you insert yourself into other people's problems that they need to solve themselves. The Stoics called this misplaced sympathy. Epictetus taught that when you rob someone of the struggle they need for growth, you're not helping them, you're crippling them. Think about it. Every time you solve a problem for someone who should solve it themselves, you're making them weaker. You're teaching them that they can't handle their own life, that they need you. And here's the dark part. You might like that they need you. It makes you feel important, valuable, necessary. But Marcus Aurelius warned, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you remove obstacles from other people's paths, you steal their opportunity to become stronger. Trap number 3, the resentment cycle. This is the final stage.
You've been kind, helpful, generous. You've sacrificed your time, money, and energy. And what do you get? Nothing. Or worse, people take advantage of you. So you become bitter, resentful. You start keeping score. After everything I've done for them. Marcus Aurelius addressed this directly. Expect nothing. Be grateful for the opportunity to practice virtue. But here's what he really meant. If you're expecting reciprocity, you were never being kind in the first place. You were making an investment and expecting a return. The Stoics would say, that's not virtue, that's commerce. And when the other person doesn't pay up, you feel cheated. But they never agreed to your terms. You created a contract in your head that they never signed. So what's the solution? How do you be kind without destroying yourself?
Marcus Aurelius practiced what the Stoics called kindness with teeth. Here's exactly how to implement it. Step 1. Practice selective kindness. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. The Stoics were extremely selective about who they invested in. Ask yourself, is this person willing to help themselves? Are they taking responsibility for their situation, or are they looking for someone to carry them? Marcus Aurelius helped provinces that were trying to improve. He didn't waste resources on governors who refused to govern properly. Your kindness should go to people who are moving in the right direction, even if slowly, not to people who are standing still and demanding you push them. Step 2. Set unbreakable boundaries. Here's a Stoic practice that will change your life. Decide your limits before you're asked to break them. Before someone asks for a favor, know how much time you're willing to give. Before someone asks for money, know how much you can afford to lose. Before someone asks for emotional support, know how much you can give without depleting yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Your boundaries are not negotiable. They're not mean, they're not selfish. They're the price of being able to continue being kind. Step 3. Give without attachment. This is the highest level of Stoic kindness. When you help someone, release all expectations immediately. Don't expect gratitude, don't expect reciprocity, don't even expect them to use your help wisely. You gave because you chose to give. What they do with it is their concern, not yours. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. He knew that many of the people he helped would betray him, forget him, or waste his generosity. He helped them anyway, because his kindness was about his character, not their response. As he wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Be kind because you've decided to be kind, not because of what you'll get back. So here's what Marcus Aurelius really understood about kindness. It's not about being nice to everyone. It's not about self-sacrifice. It's not about being loved. Real kindness is having the wisdom to know who to help, the strength to set boundaries, and the freedom to give without needing anything in return. Quintus, that Roman governor, failed because he confused popularity with virtue. He gave everything to everyone and had nothing left for the people who actually deserved his help. Don't make his mistake. If this video helped you see kindness differently, do me a favor, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to people who need to hear it. And if you want more Stoic wisdom that actually applies to modern life, subscribe and turn on notifications. I release a new video every week on ancient philosophy that solves today's problems. Drop a comment and tell me, which trap were you caught in? The approval addiction, the rescuer complex, or the resentment cycle? Be honest, this community is built on truth. Remember what Marcus Aurelius taught. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Stay grounded, stay unshaken, stay stoic.